The gentleman from Tennessee is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Smith, it's great that you've been allowed to come here and testify to the American public. Is there anything you'd like briefly to discuss that Mr. Gill brought up on the reasons why you needed those phone records and the limitations that you thought might have been on you and the prosecution to risk the investigation?
All right, buckle up, buttercups. We're diving into some seriously spicy testimony today from Special Counsel Jack Smith. He's laying out why he went after Trump and his crew. And let me tell you, it's a masterclass in calling out some truly wild behavior. Get ready, because we're about to dissect some choice moments that really make you go,
Sure, and I would begin by pointing out that the email that was referenced wasn't a justification from my office. It was an email from the Public Integrity Section to my office approving the subpoenas. The subpoenas that we secured with non-disclosure orders from a judge because I had grave concerns about obstruction of justice in this investigation, specifically with regards to Donald Trump. Not only did we have the obstruction of justice that we were investigating in the classified documents case, but I was aware during the course of our investigation of targeting of witnesses during the course of the conspiracy itself. There were election workers who had their lives turned upside down and received vile death threats because they were targeted by Donald Trump and his co-conspirators.
Hold on, did we all just hear that? Vile death threats because they were targeted by Donald Trump and his co-conspirator. This isn't some abstract legal concept, folks. We're talking about real people, election workers, whose lives were turned upside down just for doing their jobs. It's not just strong rhetoric, it's a calculated campaign of intimidation. This isn't a political debate. It's about basic human decency and the rule of law. When you sick a mob on someone for simply counting votes, that's not patriotism, it's terrorism against democracy itself.
I had a duty to protect witnesses in this investigation. That risk, that threat to witnesses was only confirmed when we went forward in this case and Donald Trump suggested that one witness should be put to death, and then also issued a statement to the effect of, if you come after me, I'm coming after you. In my mind, I can't think of a more direct threat to witnesses and individuals involved in that proceeding. Given that sort of threats, it was, in my view, completely appropriate to protect the integrity of the investigation, to protect against destruction of evidence, and to protect the witnesses in our case.
And just make clear, you did not see any of the discussion. There was not any, it was just the content that they made a call to the president and vice versa, but nothing about any content whatsoever.
That's correct. A toll record subpoena gives you who a call is from, who it is to, and the length of that call. It does not tell you the content of what people are speaking about.
You felt that you had a case that was one that you would win beyond a reasonable doubt, no moral certainty. Is there anything in your facts that you had that you would have used at trial that you believe has not been presented to the public in the past or have been misrepresented to the public?
Is there anything?
Essential facts that you had that you felt would have resulted in a conviction of the president on the charges that he was indicted upon?
I think my report, the report of our case, the final report, summarizes the evidence, I think, in a way that is gives a fair rating of the strength of the case.
And you have no question but have been successful before jury?
My review of the case, I came to the conclusion we had proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We were ready, willing, and able to go to trial in the case. Of course, as I said in my opening statement, prosecutors can't control outcomes, but I felt confident in pursuing the case to trial.
Proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Let's just sit with that for a second. This isn't some flimsy, politically motivated charge, as some would have you believe. This is a seasoned prosecutor, Special Counsel Jack Smith, stating under oath that his team had an airtight case, ready to go to trial. It's like saying you have a royal flush, but the game got called off right before the showdown. The confidence here isn't just bravado, it's the result of meticulous investigation. It really makes you wonder what we didn't get to see in court, doesn't it?
Did Merrick Garland ever pressure you to bring an indictment or to do anything in your investigation?
No.
Did anybody else in the administration, President Biden, Vice President Harris, et cetera?
I was given the independence to conduct my investigation, and I came to the decision to bring charges in this case without undue influence from anybody in the department.
And you dropped the case. Why did you drop the case?
The cases against Donald Trump were dismissed pursuant to department policy.
Department policy, the Office of Legal Counsel said if somebody's president, you can't bring a charge against them or they can't be held liable. Is that correct?
That's correct. There had not been a case of this nature ever where someone was elected president with charges pending, and so that was slightly different. So we consulted with with the Office of Legal Counsel, and they determined pursuant to policy that the cases needed to be dismissed.
And you weren't pleased with that, but you had to follow the law, and that's what you did.
We followed policy throughout my investigation. My job was not to set policy, my job was to follow it, and that's what we did.
I want to thank you for your service. I think you're a great American, and you came out of this as being somebody who people can respect and look up to in a fashion that we should be instilling.
Wow, talk about a sudden pivot. From indicting a former president to being lauded as a great American and an example for future generations. It's almost enough to make you forget the entire reason he was there, to explain why he felt the need to pursue charges against said former president. This isn't just a pat on the back. It's an acknowledgement, even from the other side of the aisle, that Smith's work was serious and principled. A rare bipartisan moment, even if it feels a little sanitized. It's like a parent saying, "good job," while still grounding you for the original offense.
People's desire to go into justice, to go into law, and to go into government. And you're an example of the type of person they should follow.
And there you have it, folks. A deep dive into Jack Smith's testimony, where we saw some serious claims about witness targeting, unwavering confidence in his case, and a surprisingly warm send-off. It just goes to show you, even in the most contentious political battles, the truth has a way of shining through. What did you think of Smith's testimony? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more unfiltered takes on California and national politics. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown.